Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back. I am starting to feel a little bit better, so I think my voice is starting to sound a bit more normal. Maybe it's still a bit more, Squidward sounding than I'd like, but I am starting to get better. Still have a cough, so I will still be, editing the hell out of this video, but I appreciate the well wishes and the feel betters on some of the comments on my recent videos and some of the community posts, things like that. Twitter as well, really appreciate that. Anyway, let's get into today's topic, which is going to be Warzone 2's reveal date and why it's a bad thing. Before I get into that, some of the gameplay you're watching is just some extremely old Rebirth gameplay that I've not touched Rebirth in a long time. I've not touched Fortune's Keep or Caldera, don't make me laugh, in a long time. Warzone has just fallen off for me. There was a point where I thought Rebirth was really fun and all that stuff, but honestly, the game's gotten just incredibly sweaty. To the point where it's not even like fun competing, it's not even fun competing in all the sweat because you don't get anything out of it. There's no ranked mode or anything like that. So it's like, it kind of just begs the question, like, why am I still playing this so much if there's nothing out of it besides like a win or two? Another thing I want to talk about before the Warzone 2 reveal date and before, all that stuff is that Crim6, one of the professional players out there in the CDL and the COD League, he basically came out and said that the Modern Warfare 2 early build looked like a iPhone game, basically slamming the game's graphics, saying that the game looks terrible. Now, I'm not taking too much weight into this because it is an alpha build or like a pre-early build, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna crucify Infinity Ward for making a terrible game looking when it's not supposed to be meant for most eyes to see. I'm not gonna crucify them for that. I know there's gonna be some people out there who are gonna be like, "Oh, I told you the game looks terrible. The game's gonna play terrible." No, I'm not gonna go that far just yet. I do think that it leaves a lot to be desired based on what I've seen and what a lot of people are seeing. I saw that they had a lot of Modern Warfare 2 screenshots come out recently, and honestly, those look pretty good. I think the thumbnail is probably going to be one of them. It looks fine to me, as far as like screenshots go. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like we're like in deep trouble or anything like that. So at least that's cool. But anyway, with all that being said, let's get into the Warzone 2 news. So apparently, and this is a huge apparently, but apparently Warzone 2 is going to be announced / going to be coming out on November 16th, 2022. And this is terrible in my opinion. This is terrible. The main reason why this is so bad in my opinion is because the minute Warzone comes out, like with the next Call of Duty game, is the day that multiplayer essentially dies. And so I know I'm not like living under a rock. Okay, I know Activision knows that Warzone's the cash cow. I know nobody gives a rat's ass about multiplayer anymore, aside from like me and like 5 commentators. But multiplayer is what Call of Duty was built upon. All right, now, as you guys know, it's basically just a staging ground for Warzone sweats and Rebirth sweats to basically level up whatever the best class is, and then maybe get a camo or two, and then boom, you're done playing multiplayer for the whole year, or maybe 2 years now that Modern Warfare 2 has a 2-year life cycle. And it just sucks because to me it makes it seem like they don't have faith in their product, right? If you had faith in your product, you wouldn't quote unquote let it die so soon. Not that they're letting it die, not that they're not going to support it. Of course, I'm sure they're going to support it with DLC and things like that. At least I hope they're going to, for a 2-year life cycle. If they don't, they're crazy. But what's crazy to me is just how little Infinity Ward, maybe they're right, maybe they're fighting for it, maybe Activision or Raven just doesn't care, but how little they fought for, pushing it back. Like, imagine, like, in my perfect world, this is what I want, right? I want Modern Warfare 2 to come out in like October, November, whenever, right? I want us to have at least 2 to 3 months. Okay, at the very bare minimum, I would say after Christmas, probably like the start of the new year, maybe like early January, maybe mid January to early February. I think that's the point. As to where you're gonna start like sneaking Warzone 2, maybe like releasing like Rebirth or an updated Rebirth, then eventually releasing the new map and then things like that, and like slowly implement it into the new year. That just makes sense to me. That way you give multiplayer fans at least like 2 full months to introduce everything and stuff like that. Maybe season 1 comes out and we all have a good old time, right? That makes sense to me. I think that would be best of both worlds. Raven Software or Activision, whoever, they really have no interest in this, obviously, because All they care about is Warzone 2 coming out as soon as possible so that they can start making, extra money on the microtransactions, getting more feedback on the game and things like that. Maybe their plan is to release Warzone as soon as possible, so that way, people have to kind of choose between which one to play. Obviously, if you want to play Modern Warfare 2, you can do so and level up your guns for Warzone at the same time. I guess that makes sense, but personally, I'm just not a big fan of it. I really, really wish that they just held back a little bit. November is extremely early. That means the game has 2-3 weeks to live before, everyone starts making Warzone best class videos and things like that. To me, it's just really discouraging as a Call of Duty player, as a Call of Duty fan, to see that, the franchise disregards its multiplayer, like what it's built upon for the longest time. It just disregards it for some cheap money, for some cheap thrills. I don't know, man. It's really disappointing to me. Maybe I'm overlooking things or looking too far into it, but I sent out a tweet the other day. Let me pull it up here real quick. Basically just explaining my thoughts on why it's a terrible idea. Another big reason why I think Warzone 2 dropping early is a bad idea is because it means that the game is probably going to come out incomplete and maybe underdeveloped. And you know what happens when games come out incomplete these days? I mean, see Battlefield, see Cyberpunk. There's plenty of examples of games where probably really good, but nobody gives it the time of day because it didn't come out nearly like a full game. It came out like complete garbage or something like that. And so no one's going to give it a try. People don't have patience these days, so sit around and wait for games to get good. You know what I mean? If the game is good, they're going to come out and play it. If it's not, they're going to move on to the next game. There's no loyalty anymore. The only loyalty that people have to games is if the game seems like it's loyal to them, which basically means good microtransactions and a good support system, good dev response times and things like that. Nowadays in the gaming industry, if you don't have that as a game developer or whatever, people are going to up and dip as soon as they can, as soon as there's a better game out there. I mean, if you don't believe me, just look at how many people from Warzone dipped and went to Apex Legends or Fortnite or Valorant even. People just leave because there's no reason to stay, especially in the game like Call of Duty. Call of Duty has been so not fun for months now. It's actually crazy. It's crazy how bad Rebirth got. It's crazy how bad Vanguard is as a whole, as a game. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. And they think that people are still gonna just up and do whatever. Doesn't Activision know that their numbers are down? Don't they see these reports, standings and whatever? Shouldn't that signal in their heads hey, this is a red flag, maybe we shouldn't do this going forward, maybe we should do something else going forward, maybe we shouldn't lock DLC weapons behind stupid ridiculous challenges like we've been doing or something like that? I don't know, that's just an idea, you can take it or leave it, I guess. Anyway, man, that's basically it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I really do appreciate the recent support we've been getting. Again, Modern Warfare 2 videos coming very soon as we get more information and as soon as the beta drops. Still, unfortunately, about a month away from the beta dropping, so it's quite a while. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking around, guys. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see me do in the future, if anything different. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and peace out.